Hello, everyone. Had a interesting morning. Took my oldest to dentist, and then ran to a few stores. Went to a new or a not typical bigger grocery store, and they had different vegan stuff, and so I was like, all the stuff. So one I'm really excited about, supposed to be made out of mushroom stems, but tastes like steak. We'll see. um, so, but on the way home, I haven't listened to Lorie Ladd a lot. I did one of her meditations a few weeks ago, kind of when I was getting out of my funk or whatever, and but I haven't really had time, and just it just hasn't clicked up. And she had a video a couple days ago, which I am gonna link, because I'm gonna reference it a bunch, because I really needed to hear that message today. And a few days ago in one of my videos, I talked about how this has kind of felt like being in an ocean, being trapped under waves. And I was talking about being on the beach, but I really like Lorie's analogy better, and hers was being in the ocean, being, feeling like you're being pummeled under waves, and or you can literally choose to float and go with the flow. And I don't always feel called to listen to other people. Even Lorie, I really like Lorie a lot, but it's just, I'm not always there. I kind of want to go with my own guidance system and everything. But I've been struggling the last few days, and just feeling like something more is going on, and wondering kind of what's up. Like, maybe that's one of the reasons I make my videos, and this is what she talked about too, is because it lets you know you're not alone. A lot of this journey is very solitary, but there's very common themes that we kind of go through, and one person might be going through it now, and one person might be going through it 10 years from now. And it just varies. But I think there's collective things that a lot of us are going through right now. And so she described how over the last few weeks, a lot of her teachings and stuff about higher self and aliens and whatnot, how she's not even called to do that anymore. She's just kind of just being. And it's odd because I feel like that's what I've been trying to do and get into, but it's so, I'm there and then I'm not. There's days that I've been able to do it, and then the role of mother or wife comes in, and we have all of those things in our head about what that role means and how we should be and things like that, and how we should respond and all of that stuff. And apparently I really needed a nap the other day too. My husband kind of came in from what he had been doing, and I was just like, I'm so done. And he's like, I'll take the kids out and blah blah blah. And I was gonna meditate because that's what I really wanted to do, but I fell asleep because that's just where I was at. And so anyway, back to flow though. And I liked her analogy because she's this ocean analogy. We can be in these waves And we can be scared of them. We can see them coming. And we can have anxiety. And we can have lots of thoughts that come up with, I need to do, be, this is good, this is bad. Or we can just be. And I've really been trying to get into this be state, but I'm like, how the heck do I do that? Like, sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it's not. And you think, well, just let it be. Like, but it's not the normal, it's not the typical, it's not what we're taught to do or be. We're taught to want to be in control of everything and to know what's going on and what's happening, and I don't like this and I'm going to change it. And she was like, just pause. And then she's like, and by the way, there's no other directions, it's just pause. And then, your God spark in you will speak through you, because you have to remember that you're God. And I was just like, just pause. And I know there's going to be moments that come up that I can't do this. But there's going to be a lot of moments that I can. And I also know from my past experiences with changing thinking and just how things are, that it will take a little bit of time, but it will happen. And the more I can make it consistent and make it a pattern, it will just become routine. And so it really made me resolved. And I literally just got done. I had something I needed to do outside. My husband's canning tomatoes. And so I was like, well, I'll turn that off, do a video, because this really speaks to how I've been feeling. And I think with any of these changes, when we're doing something new, there's just this adjustment period where the old way is trying to cling on to us and saying, remember these waves, oh, look, you're going to go under the water, and you're, all this stuff. Oh, look, there's another big one coming. And then there's also this new way that's going, I can just lay here and enjoy the water. And I don't need to worry about anything, because, first of all, I'm not going to fight an ocean. And I know I'm going to get to where I need to go. And it's odd, because I've had this whole time this strange, I feel like I'm straddling two worlds dichotomy type thing, where part of me wants to be panicked about if my acupuncture is going to work, if I'm going to be able to home birth, oh my gosh, the fundraiser is not moving and things like that. But most of the time, I'm just over here and I'm just like, I know what I want. The acupuncture is going to work. And, and hopefully it does. And then I let it go. And then there's this other part of me for the home birth that's just like, it's going to work out. I don't know how, but it's going to. And I just, other than that thought and attention, the how and the all of it doesn't matter. I'm just riding the waves, going with it. And that makes a lot of sense, and it makes sense that would be our natural state of being. And you could do any number of crazy conspiracy theories on why we would be pulled out of that. Well, I mean, one of the most obvious reasons is if you realize you're God and you're powerful and you have control, and just by being, your universe develops around you and not these archaic ideas and things like that. What a different world that would be. but it doesn't matter. And so this is why I like watching other people, because sometimes I just needed somebody to say to me, you just need to pause. You just need to go, child is melting down again. And just step back in that moment. Or, my spouse really isn't listening to me. And if I step back, I go, I can't control my spouse. I control me. And I don't want to change. And I think this goes with not changing your emotions, because if we're looking at our emotions as good or bad, then we're judging them and we're not going with the flow of things. But if I say I'm not my emotions, I'm upset with, this person, or with my spouse, or with my kids, or with myself, and I pause, and then I can let the universe talk to me. And I can say, I'm not this thought, I'm not this emotion. It's just coming up right now. Okay. Do I want to act on this thought or emotion? Might need to. Maybe not. And just go from there. And maybe I don't need to do anything. Maybe I just need to be. And I feel like it makes sense, the going back and forth, because anytime you change into a new thought process, it's hard at the beginning. And little did I know that, this alpha gal syndrome was going to propel me into enormous new ways of thought and thinking. And then I go, it's almost like it was all planned out. Because I needed that low. And there's still parts of it that are extremely frustrating. But when I look at the frustrating moments, I'm also not pausing in them, and I'm not breathing, and I'm not going, I'm in this. But I'm not this. One of the other things she talked about was acknowledging when you wake up that you're alive. And this was interesting, because this syncs up too, because for about a week or so now, maybe not quite that long, every morning when I wake up, I've been saying thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful. And that's something new and different. And some days it goes really well with, I start there, and then I go into my, vision board or whatever, my intentions, and then I journal, and, sometimes it's just great. And then there's other days I can't do all that stuff. But that's still an interesting way to start the day versus, oh gosh, gotta check on this. Oh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be awake. I haven't felt that way in several days. And even this morning I didn't sleep real great. My hips are bothering me. I need to get to the chiropractor desperately. That's tomorrow. But I woke up and was still grateful to be here. grateful to be me here, the roles that I am here. And I still did my aspirations and everything. But then I just kind of went out and was with my husband, because this is his last day home before he goes to work for the next 3 days. And just enjoying and appreciating him. And for the rest of the day, we've barely synced up, and so I'm really grateful now that I just let it be and enjoyed that time together. And not worried, oh, I gotta do this. I need to be in my, get my headspace and get everything right. And it was like, it was centering me in a different way. And so I don't know. It's very interesting to add into my thought process that maybe I just need to pause and let it be more. And see what and how the universe talks and shows up to me. And I know those moments, I'm recognizing those moments where it's just not flowing anymore, and it's all not, no, and I'm fighting it, and I'm struggling. And I don't want to struggle. So what can I do? And I think the world tells us that, we need to answer something immediately. You need to get your cash out in the cashier line, and, all that stuff, and you're frazzled and you're sitting there. And anymore, I just take a breath, and it takes as long as it takes. And I hope I don't inconvenience somebody else, but if it does, I'm sorry. I like coming out here and hearing the birds and just having the sun on me. I haven't been able to enjoy outside like I want to. But I'm getting back to that. And I think we need that on a soul level. Or at least I do. So I'm curious your thoughts. If you've been centering, if you've been feeling something similar to what Lorie's talking about, like where you're shifting and it's I don't want to say you don't care, but you don't care. There's a lot of things. I've changed my Facebook feed and my Twitter feed. I just don't, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that I just don't care anymore. Like, it's gonna all keep going on whether I watch it or not. That's not how I want to spend my time. How I do want to spend my time is with the people I've chosen to be in my life for whatever reasons. And how I am with them and interacting with them and doing that pause. I like that. So I'll link Lorie's video so that everybody can see it, because it seems like YouTube is letting me link outside videos now, so I must have done something right. But I'm still always loving interaction and everything with everyone, so if you can, leave a comment and let me know, what you're doing, if you're kind of just being, if you're stuck in the waves and you're trying to tread water and you're going, this isn't working, and you keep going under the water and stuff like that, or if you're floating on the water and just letting the current take you. Let me know what you're doing. Have a great day.